Hey everybody, this is Trevor, and you're watching my channel Social Dilemma. And today is part two of my series of videos for leaving Canada. And I did my first video. I did like a general view of a lot of different subjects and why I would like to leave Canada. But I guess just a quick update again. I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in a couple months, and never in my lifetime have I ever thought about leaving Canada until the straw that broke the camel's back for me was this past February 2022 when Justin Trudeau invoked the War Measures Act or Emergencies Act. I think it's a War Measures Act. It was a soft form of martial law that he brought in because he did not force the police and military and any other public sector workers who carry firearms to go and secure the bailiwick of Canada. They didn't go on the streets, so it's a soft form of martial law. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. And yeah, so I would like to move to the United States. I think that with work experience, and I have parents who are both Canadian citizens, and they became U.S. citizens in 2003, and I should have followed them there years ago. But Canada was a pretty good place, I would say, up until really COVID opened my eyes up to just how tyrannical government can be in Canada. Now I'm not. Now people will say, "Well, United States, it's not any, not any better." I know Americans that live there would probably open my eyes to a few more things, but I can tell you right now that for the past 2 years, Justin Trudeau told the provinces what to do during the coronavirus, and the provinces just laid down. They bent over a barrel and did everything the federal government told them. As where what I noticed in the United States, your 50 states all played differently, and I like that. Some were like, hey, we're going to go to the nth degree with COVID mandates. And other states are like, no, we want more individual freedom. And really, I see that as a great bonus. You also have your Constitution, which can be a bit of an issue because it either gave you the government that you have today or was powerless to stop it. But I think if people could, the citizens, the fine citizens, that the pioneers, the individual spirits, the freedom people of the United States told government you have to adhere to the Constitution, that would be really great. But they don't. I mean, I think the Constitution is pretty simple, especially your First and Second Amendments. People have the right to say what they want. I have the right to debate them if I think they're wrong, if they're going against like a crime against humanity. If you're saying something that would invoke people, incite them to create a crime against humanity, I have the right to debate them, and that's how things should be done. You should not shut people up. And in Canada, they shut you up. Especially now with Justin Trudeau and his Bill C-11, whether or not it goes through or not, I mean, we're just being hammered. Freedom of speech. And at least in the United, that's how I feel people should, and if you are inciting violence and you're creating an environment of hate against people, which is completely wrong, then you do have your Second Amendment to defend yourself personally. And we don't have that in Canada. In Canada, it is a privilege and not a right to bear arms. And it should not be like that in Canada. It should not be like that in England, Germany, Russia, China, anywhere. Everyone is born with the natural right for self-preservation. And in today's terms, that's firearms. But, here in Canada, Justin Trudeau wants to take them away. And he's already banned a whole bunch of rifles, and now handguns are going to be banned. And people are like, yeah, but Trevor, you're giving up. You're giving up. Because a conservative government will change things. Well, I'm old enough to remember a fella named Brian Mulroney and Kim Campbell. She was only Prime Minister of Canada for 3-4 months. And Stephen Harper. I lived through all three of those. And I can tell you right now, none of them, if they did anything, it was they took away a few of the laws that Liberals, previous prime ministers, had brought in. So they might have taken those away, like, long arm registries and whatnot. But they didn't go any further. Brian Mulroney didn't go and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna push a right to bear arms for Canadians. Kim Campbell did not do that. She's not there for very long, so can't really say much about her. But Stephen Harper, so he took away some of Jean Chrétien's firearm long arm registry. Did he come out and say, hey, you know what? I am going to push for a 2A style law in Canada? Did he do anything to the licensing in Canada? And the licensing in Canada is absolutely pits firearm owners against each other. You have a PAL license, which is basically a license for hunting and carrying rifles. And then you have a restricted PAL license, which gives you the ability to have, well, you used to have, to have like an AR-15 style rifle and handguns. Now, did Stephen Harper push to say, forget it, just one license in Canada? Did he even go that far? He didn't even go, as far as I'm concerned, he might have just kept the gun laws where they're at par even. And that's what conservatives do here in Canada. They don't go above and beyond to help property owners. In that respect, firearms, there are several million Canadians that own firearms. That's a lot of, I would say, private property owned that the government should look at as revenue. And they just, even conservatives. So when the conservatives come in, they might take away a few things that liberals do, but they don't go above and beyond. Okay, they don't go above them. They've never gone to it and said, "Hey, we're going to try to get a 2A in Canada," or at least, do something with the licensing. Okay, so that is another reason why I would like to leave Canada. Definitely, the firearm laws and freedom of speech in Canada are just nowhere near what you have in the United States. Okay. And again, provinces are, they don't have really any power to stop the federal government here, or they certainly don't try to. And so that's what I admire in the States, is their ability to at least challenge the federal government. So, yeah, so that's what this video is really about today. It's about private property ownership and that particular part of firearms. In Canada, it is a privilege and not a right. And that needs to be changed. Okay? I'm a law-abiding Canadian citizen, and I follow the rules that the government has set forward with firearms. I am a restricted firearms owner. But it should be a 2A style. Okay, it should be 2A here in Canada, because every human has the right to self-preservation. People say, well, women's rights and women need to be protected. Well, give them the opportunity to protect themselves by allowing them to carry a firearm. Okay, I'm not 25 anymore. Okay, I don't want to have a physical confrontation with somebody who's trying to rob me. Okay, I'm almost 50. I'm not broken yet, but I should have the ability to defend myself. My parents, who are in their mid to late 70s, should have the ability to defend themselves. But we don't in Canada. And proof is in the pudding with two fellas who just killed 10 people with a knife and injured 15 more. If one of those people had had a firearm, the handgun, they probably would be alive. Okay? Maybe less people would have been dead. So, yeah, so here in Canada, we have no rights. And the right to bear arms and the right to free speech, it's nowhere near what you have in America. And that, definitely the 2A, which is what I'm trying to focus this video on more, is so fundamentally important to the self-preservation of every individual that you need to hold on to that in the United States. Okay, I know it's under attack, but you've at least got that. You at least have that right to bear arms. In Canada, we don't. It's a privilege, and the government is proving that since June 2020 by taking away rifles and handguns. Okay, so keep that in mind, and that is going to wrap it up for today. Part 2 for leaving Canada and firearms. That's what it comes down to. So stay free, everyone, and just do the best you can. Peace out.